It should just be enough. So what I need you to understand is, no matter what, don't look back. Verse 21.
And he said unto him, See, I have accepted thee concerning this thing also, and I will not overthrow the city for which thou hast spoken.
Okay, I'm gonna do it for you. I'm gonna give you favor. If that's what you need, you say that's the only way you can do it. I'm gonna give you favor. Verse 22.
Haste thee, escape thither, for I cannot do anything till thou hast come thither. Therefore the name of the city was called Zoar. The sun was risen upon the earth when Lot entered into Zoar. The Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. And he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the city and that which grew upon the ground.
So he said that. So as he's escaping and going to the place where the Most High told him, the place where he was, the place where he loved, the place where he put everything, he put all his life into, was destroyed. Not only that, but his daughters and his son-in-laws, his friends. And I know that's difficult. I don't want to be insensitive to that because I've lost homeboys in the streets. You understand? I've lost people to the life that the Most High delivered me out of. Right? It's difficult to see everything you was once about be destroyed, return to naught. But when you escape it, you got to keep going. And I know it's hard, but you can't be focused on who's back there. Come on, man. You can't be focused on who's back there behind. We have some technical difficulties and keep kind of reconnect. So just bear with us, okay? Just bear with us. Verse 24. No, verse 26.
But his wife looked back from behind, and she became a pillar of salt.
But the wife looked back and became a pillar of salt. He gave him distinct instructions. Don't look back. And see, this is the same thing that happens a lot of times in families. This is why the Bible tells us in 2 Corinthians, the 6th chapter, verse 14, to not be unequally yoked with unbelievers. Because a lot of times what happens in life is you marry this guy, you marry this girl, you get in a relationship with this girl, you get a relationship with this guy because they're fine to you, they're attracted to you, you're compatible in certain areas, but in the things that are most important, you're not. And so you're trying to be committed to Christ, and this person isn't. Right? You're trying to do what thus says the Lord, and this person isn't. So you get married, or you done fell in love. And now, the Most High comes to the family. Some of you are ready to move forward. Others are hesitant. This is what happened in this situation. Lot understood. I got to keep going. But the wife was still stuck in the world. And her looking back is ultimately destroyed her. So now the daughters don't have a mother and Lot don't have a wife. So I'm trying to encourage you right now that you don't need to start a relationship with anyone that's not on the same page when it comes to the Most High in Christ. Ladies, especially you ladies. Because you guys are so loving and so nurturing, you think that your love is going to be enough to get them right. That you will be enough. In many cases, you're not. It's not nothing. It's not a shock to you. It's just that no matter how special you are, no matter how beautiful you are, no matter how good you are, if a man is rejecting the love of Christ and the Most High, your love can't compare with that. Nothing you can do can compare with that. So if they don't want it from him, they're definitely not going to receive it from you. So before you even put your heart and your life and everything about yourself connected to someone, you better make sure in the beginning that you're on the same page when it comes to the Most High. And no matter what, when you're going forth in Christ, don't look back. Today's lesson, for all those who just joined us, no matter what, don't look back. Now let's go to Numbers, the 14th chapter. Numbers, the 14th chapter. We're going to look at verses 1 through 11 here. Numbers, the 14th chapter. Look at verses 1 through 11 here. Now, for those who are just joining us, we got this message today to come and encourage the people, because with everything that's going on in our nation right now, there's so many different distractions that are trying to keep our people outside of what the purpose is for their life. So because you see your president doing this, you see the media saying this, and you see people that are on social media saying this, you feel as if you have to be concerned with them, but the truth of the matter is, you guys are irrelevant to our people. We did a message last week called The Rebirth of a Nation, and we put this in the inbox. I pray that after you watch this video, that sometime before next Sabbath, you'll watch that video. Because it's about us, the rebirth of a nation, the true nation of Israel. And that you're not black, that you're not African American, that you're from the tribe of Judah, from the nation of Israel. So therefore, because you're not involved in this nation where they call America, you don't even need to be concerned with the politics of this world, of this country. Because it's very obvious. It should be very, very clear that they don't want to have anything to do with us. You understand? I mean, how long is it going to take for our people to realize that? We'd have marched in the streets, came out, and nothing has changed. We still march. People still out there protesting. Okay? Take the Black Lives Matter shirt off, get in this Bible and understand that the Most High said you've been mattered. According to Deuteronomy 76, when he said, I chose you to be a special people above all people. You matter to the Most High. So whether they accept us is irrelevant. You need to move forward. And no matter what, don't look back. Now, here's Numbers, the 14th chapter. Our people were brought out of the land of Egypt, came into the wilderness. And the Most High, in chapter 13, instructed Moses to send out 12 spies, one from each tribe. Just go and spy out the nation of Canaan in which they were about to receive. He told them, and back in Exodus, this land is your land, right? So, you know how it is. You get right to the brink of something that the Most High is going to give you, and he tells you, I want you to take a look at it. He gives you a dream, to vision it. So, 12 spies went out. 10 of them came back, and the Bible says it gave an evil report saying, we can't overcome this land. 2 of them, Caleb and Joshua, said, we can do this. The Most High said it's ours, it's ours. So now we hear Numbers, the 14th chapter, when the people refused to believe what the Most High had been telling them all this time and accepted the words of man over the words of the Most High. Numbers, the 14th chapter, let's look at verse 1 here.
And all the congregation lifted up their voice and cried, and the people wept that night.
Just destroyed. Now, you've been walking with the Most High all this time. He's been bringing manna from the sky, bringing water out of rocks, sending a bunch of quails here to make sure you have meat when you was complaining that you had no meat. But 10 people come back and tell you, yo, man, we can't do it. And you cry all night. Christ has told you, yo, by my stripes you're healed. I'm going to heal your body. You turn on television, they tell you, yo, man, this cancer can't be healed. You cry all night. You understand? The Most High has done told you that he's going to bless you and your family. You turn on the news and you see, yo, man, the career's about the bombers, and you cry all night. You allow man to come in and interject and you have more faith in what man has said than what God has said. If the weatherman tell you it's going to rain, you won't leave your house without an umbrella. But if the Most High tell you, yo, I'm about to rain down blessings upon your house, you won't even believe him. And this is what we're doing. This is what we're dealing with right now. The same thing they're dealing with here. When they allow man's opinion to outweigh God's truth. You never allow man's opinion to outweigh the truth of the Most High God. Verse 2.
And now the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron, and the whole congregation said unto them, Would God that he died in the land of Egypt, or would God we had died in this wilderness?
See that? See what happens? And I know any of my leaders right now can attest to this. As soon as Donald Trump come out and say something reckless, y'all want to go against what the pastor's telling you. You want to go against what your true leaders are telling you. You're like, man, we should have just died. We should have just died now, man. It don't matter. I should have just died in the streets when I was hustling, man. They're going to kill us anyway, man. Right? Sit amongst yourself and having that, what we talked about before, vain babbling. We're just talking nonsense and reckless because it sounds good. Go on social media and start going off to all these different nonsense challenges. I'm not even going to go into that mess. Because it's fun and popular and everybody doing it. Verse 3.
And wherefore hath the Lord brought us into this land to fall by the sword, that our wives and our children should be a prey? Were it not better for us to return into
Look at that. Let's go back to the world. Let's go back to hustling. Let's go back to lying. This Israelite thing is hard, man. Nobody don't want to rock with me. I'm just going to go back to the church. I'm just going to go back to Christmas. I'm just going to go back to Easter. This is what everybody else is doing. I know the Bible don't talk about Christmas. I know it don't talk about Easter, but I'm tired of being out here by myself. I'm just going to go back. I'm just going to go back. I can't keep fighting this by myself. I'm just going back to Egypt. Let's go back to Egypt. Let's go back to the world. I'm tired of being at home all the time by myself. Let's just go to the club. I'm tired of being celibate. I'm tired of being here and I can't never do nothing. I'm about to call Junebug and tell them to come get me right. I'm going to call Shorty. She gonna do me right. Verse 4.
And they said one to another, Let us make a captain, and let us return into Egypt.
Let's get this pastor out of here that's telling us the truth. They're telling us to stop shacking. They're telling us to stop fornicating. Who won't accept me because I'm homosexual. Okay? Let's vote him out. Let's bring in another pastor. You know what? Matter of fact, I'm just going to leave this church and I'm going to go over here because over there I can do whatever I want, dress however I want, act however I want, and they're going to give me hope. So let's get a new leader. Somebody that's going to tell us what we want to hear. Verse 5.
Then Moses and Aaron fell on their faces before the assembly of the congregation of the children of Israel.
The true leaders, you got to listen to all my pastors, to all my leaders, to all my fathers who are struggling right now, because I know some of you right now are dealing with it because you recognize that you're not black, that you're not African American. But your wife ain't really trying to hear it right now. Or you're a wife and you done woke up to the truth, but your husband is not trying to hear it right now, so your children ain't trying to hear it right now, and nobody in your family trying to set it right now, and so it gets frustrated, but you just gotta fall on your face and pray for them. You can't get mad, you can't get upset, you gotta pray for them. Regardless of how it look, regardless of how they ridicule, regardless of how they clown you and ostracize you, talk junk about you, don't get back to the forth with the arguing with them. No matter what they say about you, continue to seek the Lord. Verse 6.
And Joshua the son of Nun and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, which were of them that searched the land, rent their clothes.
They rent their clothes. Well, that means that when the Israelites would rent their clothes, that would mean they were being shamed. They were like, listen, man, this is ridiculous. What are y'all doing? We went to the land too. And we're sitting here right now as Joshua and Caleb. I know what they're telling you in the church, but we in the Bible too. Hear what the Bible is saying. Hear what the Holy Spirit is saying. And not what everybody else is talking about. Because there's plenty of so-called leaders right now who are clowning the Israelites. Who are preaching about us on Sunday mornings. A lot of my preacher peers don't want to have anything to do with me. They're having side conversations and that boy L gone. You right. I'm gone. You understand? And so we got to stand up and like, listen, man, this ain't it. I was there too. And look what he said in verse 7.
And they spake unto all the company of the children of Israel, saying, the land which we passed through to search it, it is exceedingly good land.
Mm-hmm.
If the Lord delight in us, then he will bring us into the land and give it to us, a land which floweth with milk and honey.
Okay, look what he said, verse 9.
Only rebel not ye against the Lord, neither fear ye the people of the land, for they are bread for us.
Mm-hmm.
Their defense is departed from them, and the Lord is with us. Fear them not.
Fear them not. So he telling them like this, man, listen, don't worry about what you're seeing. The Most High is with us. Don't worry about what everybody else is talking about, because God is with us. He ain't with them. He's with us. And that's the way you got to stand. When you know that you're standing on the word of the Most High and not traditions of men, you got to stand. But look at what happened in verse 10.
But all the congregation bade stones then with stones, and the glory of the Lord appeared in the tabernacle of the congregation before all the children of Israel.
So right there, they was about to take them out. And I know some of you are dealing with the same thing. You sitting amongst your friends, you sitting amongst your family, some of you are sitting amongst your church members, and you're trying to tell them the truth, you're trying to wake them up, you're trying to give them understanding, you're trying to encourage them and empower them. And some of them will try to take you out. They might not try to take your life, but they try to sabotage you, try to destroy your relationship. Some of you on your job doing what's right, and other people trying to do unhandy stuff, and they're trying to sabotage you so you lose your job. Because people hate the truth. But what I need you to understand is that when you're standing for the truth, the Most High ain't going to leave you out there by yourself. So as they begin to smoke the truth and didn't want to destroy them, guess who showed up? The Most High. Verse 11.
And the Lord said unto Moses, how long will this people provoke me? How long will it be ere they believe me for all the signs which I have showed among them?
With everything I done for them, they still don't believe me. Verse 27. Let's go down to verse 27.
How long shall I bear with the evil congregation which murmur against me? I have heard the murmurings of the children of Israel which they murmur against me. Say unto them, as truly as I live, saith the Lord, as ye have spoken in my ears, so will I do to you.
So the words that you said, that's what I'm going to do. Proverbs 18:21 says, Proverbs 18:22 says that death and life is in the power of the tongue, and you shall be satisfied by the fruit thereof. That means if you speak the Most High's word, you will receive the blessing of the Most High word. You speak against the Most High word, and that's what you're going to receive. So you say you're going to die out here in the wilderness? That's what's going to happen. No matter what, don't look back. These people look back, and because they look back, talking about Egypt was better, they're receiving the curses and the plagues of Egypt and dying. Verse 29.
Your carcasses shall fall in this wilderness, and all that were number of you, according to your whole number, from 20 years old and upward, which shall murmur against me. Doubtless ye shall not come into the land concerning which I swear to make you dwell therein, save Caleb the son of Jephunneh and Joshua the son of Nun.
This is why I'm encouraging you to stand. This is why I'm encouraging you to stand. Because everybody around you could not, and they will die. They won't make it, but you will. You cannot get caught up in the herd mentality. We're doing what everybody's doing because it's popular. Sometimes you're going to have to stand, even when you have to stand alone. And because they stood, because they refused to look back, They went into the promised land when everybody else who wouldn't believe didn't. No matter what, don't look back. Now, there's some more that we can bring out here, but I'm just going to leave it at that for the sake of time. Let's go to Nehemiah, the 2nd chapter. For the second time, we're going to move on because that's all you needed to see in there. Some other things that we'll bring out at a later date. Today's lesson for those who are just joining us entitled, No Matter What, Don't Look Back. Now, we're going to go into Nehemiah, the 2nd chapter. Now, the book of Nehemiah is occurring during the time of our first captivity, Judea. During the time of Babylon, when we was in Babylon. Babylon had been overtaken by the Persians. So by this time, the country of Judea, had been left and just destroyed. Nobody had been there. They took all the good people out. Some of the rest of our people ran into Egypt and the parts of Africa. But the rest of the people that was there were just poor. They had nothing. They could do anything. A lot of people starving. They didn't have anything. So during the first chapter of Nehemiah, you go back and take that out in your own time. Nehemiah is hearing word. Nehemiah is hearing word about what's going on and what has happened in the time back in Judea, in Jerusalem. He heard about the destruction of the wall and how people just coming in, just taking over and taking things out of the country and taking advantage of the people. And he just wept all night and prayed to the Most High that he would change these things. So now we hear in Nehemiah, the 2nd chapter, he is the cupbearer for the king. He has a good relationship with the king of Persia. And now we see here in the 2nd chapter of Nehemiah what he's going to do to make sure to instill that his land is taken care of. And let me just say this before I get started. Many of you, because of happen chance, you are in a situation where you're doing a lot better than some of your people are. You have to understand that the Most High a lot of times shows you favor and brings you into areas of influence, not just about for yourself, but so that you can be a blessing to people that are in need. Now, Nehemiah was doing really good. He's cupbearer for the king. He lived in a palace. But his mind was still on his people. So I want to tell you today, it's good to take advantage of the blessing that is on your life. It's good to be blessed and have peace and joy. But you also need to be worried about the rest of your brethren. You also need to be worried about people that are less fortunate than you. You need to take some time to be concerned with those who don't have what you have. Let's look here in Nehemiah, 2nd chapter, verse 1.
And it came to pass in the month Nisan, in the 20th year of Artaxerxes, the king, that wine was before him. And I took up the wine and gave it unto the king. Now I had not been before time sad in his presence. Mm-hmm. Wherefore the king said unto me, Why is thy countenance sad? Seeing thou art not sick, this is nothing else but sorrow of the heart. Then I was very sore afraid. So
he said he had never really been sad before. He always had a good countenance. He always was in good spirits upon in face of the king. But when the king started questioning him, you have to understand that during this time, first and foremost, this is not an Israelite nation. This is the Persians. So he's working for a Persian king. And at any point, the king could ask you a question, say something to you, and you don't get the answer that he desires. I mean, he could take you out. You know what I'm saying? Because the king should have, in most situations, would have been wanting him to be faithful and being concerned with this kingdom and not his people. You understand? And so you have to be very careful that many times people are going to be concerned. People are going to want you to be focused on them. And if you're not just thinking about them, they probably ain't going to want to have anything to do with you. Verse 4. No, verse 3, excuse me.
And said unto the king, Let the king live forever. Why should not my countenance be sad when the city, the place of my fathers, the sepulchres lie waste, and the gates thereof are consumed with fire?
He said, look, man, why should I be sad? With everything that's going on with my people, with all the destruction of my homeland, where my fathers them are buried, all my people's back there, I got family back there that suffer. Why should I be sad? You still got your wife on.